Bluntz, Coffee, and Tea, your cannabis-infused refuge. Coming through with news from the streets, behind the bars, and entertainment. It's nothing you heard before and everything you wanted. Join Loso and his friends as he stimulates your mind with crazy stories and unpopular opinions. It's like a talk show, except we curse a lot. Y'all ain't ready for a Loso podcast.
Not my mic. There we go. What's going on? What's going on? How's everybody doing? Episode 5, Female Strike Back. Oh shit. Gotta let the ladies talk.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I don't know why you talking. Your mic ain't even on, Nique. Damn. Look. Nique already ready to go. We also have a special guest today. Hopefully a recurring guest if everything goes right. Y'all like her, she likes us. Before we get started, I gotta say a few things. Number one, as always, thank you for your support, and we enjoy y'all listening. I know that a lot of you guys listen through Apple Podcast app, and if you could do me a big favor, you could write a quick review, and even if you don't like the show, be real with me, but use your real screen name so I can clap back at your ass on social media if you got something bad to say, and so I can improve on this show. You feel me? Like this show for y'all, this show ain't for me, even though my name's on it. The other thing is, for all those people that have people locked up, if you are in a state where your loved ones have J-Pay, they can listen to this show. However, this show is not called Bluntz, Coffee, and Tea in the prison system. It's just called a Loso podcast, so they gotta look for it. And it's highly censored because that was the only way I could get it up in there. But also, and all the proceeds go directly to Star for his commissary. So, if you got loved ones locked up and they got JPay, it gives them something to listen to. It's only $2 in there and they get an hour worth of content. Trust me, in there, that shit means a lot. The other thing I gotta say, we also have, if you want to give donations, you can go on my website, hit the donation button. Every little bit helps. We're gonna start the YouTube channel next month. And when I say YouTube channel, it's gonna be a real channel. Like, we're trying to do things big. We got a lot of projects in the work in the background. So, yeah, we're glad, I'm really appreciated that y'all vibing with us. So, with that being said, let's get on to this. Today's special guest, we have somebody, I think that's pretty dope, The video game, industry is a lot different than how it was back in the day. And, one thing I've noticed a lot is that girls are finally getting in the gaming industry. And, they game good, which, I never understood because I never looked at video games as just being a boy thing. I used to always play with my female cousins, my sisters. But when you look at like TV or the way people describe video games, you don't ever see, shit marketed to females. And I think it's just stupid because I think, some of the coolest gamers I played with online, I game, but I ain't no gamer. Like, G, he more of a gamer than I am. Like, he on that Call of Duty faithfully. Our guest we have, she's a Call of Duty chick. It's crazy because, it's a different world. Ladies are doing their thing. When I say ladies are doing their thing, ladies are in sports. Ladies can really do anything a man do. I've seen it, more and more now. Certain shit, not everything, but but for the most part, a girl could game. For the most part, a girl could be a sniper, and snipe somebody, in Call of Duty. What's that sniping spot y'all like in Warzone? I don't fucking know, but Jill knows what it is. And I'm sure she knows. We'll get to all that. So let me introduce her. Her name's Pumpkin. She's from Springfield, Massachusetts. Where the fuck is the mic at? There we go. Boom. So what's up, Pumpkin?
What's up? Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being on the show. So, why don't you introduce yourself for our listeners? Let them know what you about.
Okay. First, you got it wrong. I am not from Springfield, Massachusetts. I am
My
from
fault.
Bridgeport, Connecticut. Don't get me in trouble rapping the wrong,
My
city.
fault.
'Cause that's not a city.
It's all the same.
Bridgeport, Connecticut.
It's all. Connecticut is pretty much New Jersey for New England.
I mean, for you, but where I'm from,
Hey
you
yo,
need to
hey yo, I
say,
know a whole bunch of Connecticut motherfuckers like yo, so that nigga suck my dick.
yeah, no, that's definitely not the case. I mean, I think you're confusing it. Like, if you're from Massachusetts, you're just from Springfield.
Nah, see, I ain't from. Nah, see, that's what you got fucked up. I ain't from Springfield. But
But
nah, I'm just messing with you though. So yeah, so yo, so you really game like, and you said Call of Duty is really your shit, right?
yeah, so I was a little bit late to the Warzone thing. I think I came in like at season 4 or so. I'm not even sure what season we're on anymore. Originally, it had started. I mean, I've always played Call of Duty, all of the ones that come out, with the exception of a few that they just released that were just trash. But I at least make sure I cop every single release and give it a try. And it's just been that way since I was a kid. I was really heavy on Fortnite.
Wow.
I went from Call of Duty, like Advanced Warfare and all that, and then I gave Battle Royale mode a try, pretty good in Fortnite. And then Warzone came out, and all of my boys were like, you got to give it a try, and I'm hooked on it. It's pretty much the only game I play right now. I mean, I play other things at home for fun or like with my kids or something, but I would say in my spare time, it's definitely just Warzone.
All right, so I know a couple of fellas that listen to this, like, all right. So I gotta ask a question for them. What's your loadout?
My loadout, actually, I have a pretty popular loadout. A friend of mine put me on to my loadout, and whenever I post a video, I can't even tell you how many people have switched over to my gun. I run an M13. It
Mm.
has like no recoil, none.
Mm.
So I posted videos and everybody's like, "Why doesn't your gun move?" Like it don't jump, it don't do none of that. And I mean, and they keep nerfing it, and then they keep putting it back to where it was. But I run an M13. I run it with my secondary is a Mac 10 and or a P90. P90 is pretty reliable, but I'm pretty faithful to the M13. And I don't run heartbeat sensor. I run smoke grenades because when you're running across the field and you're getting lit up, I throw a smoke grenade at you and that saves your ass. Or if I gotta run out and res you, I throw the smoke grenade and I come and get you.
That's dope.
Okay, I don't know none of that shit she just said, but I know G does, and I think it's dope. I mean, the last time I played Warzone, niggas don't like playing with me first of all, cause I'm not that good, but I think I am.
It's not a
So
babysitting game. It's not a babysitting game. If you're gonna have one person that's not that good, you need to have the other 3 members. Because I do have a friend that I recently posted a video. I did get a dub with him. He plays Call of Duty itself, but Warzone is a whole different type of monster. Like, it's definitely nothing like just multiplayer playing on the maps, one team against the other team. It's nothing like that. But I mean, if you got the basics down, you can have somebody be on your team as long as you
listen,
got,
on
two other strong
Warzone,
members.
listen, deathmatch, G's the better deathmatch, but Warzone, I'm the best at Warzone out of them. That's for sure because I know how to cooperate. People don't understand. You got to cooperate in that game.
Yeah, it's
This
definitely.
nigga G, yo, don't play
Oh,
Pumpkin. I'm
he's a
telling you right
solo
now,
player. He's a solo
Pumpkin. If
player.
this nigga G sends you an invite for Warzone, don't take it. Cause I'm telling you what's gonna happen right now, right?
Take it, we're gonna get that
Listen,
dub.
he's gonna tell you.
He's probably gonna get the dub. The rest of the team probably not gonna be
Nah,
alive, but he's
this
probably gonna make it
he's
back.
not gonna be alive, Pumpkin. I trust you. What's gonna happen is he's gonna fucking ping some area and have you go all the way over there and shit, only to go to the complete opposite fucking way, and then ask for help.
Yeah,
And then ask for
yeah.
help, knowing that
And
nigga
think
like
that you
2
can,
miles
you think
away.
you got a jetpack going
Yeah.
back
I'm like,
300
my
meters
nigga, who the
away.
fuck
Yeah,
told
I
you?
know.
I like stick to the plan. Or then he one of those niggas.
It's a team game, and I do have a couple of friends on my friends list that I like know in real life, but I hate playing with them. They're just not. They're not. They're not team players. It's too frantic. There's no communication. It's like, it's definitely a game where you gotta like
I'm looking at this nigga
communicate
G
and.
Pumpkin. I'm telling you, you can't see, but I'm looking at this nigga G. Looking down at
He's
this
guilty of
nigga.
it. Yeah. So I mean, funny. I mean, I don't know what make. I mean, I would say funny, but not that it should be, odd. But I'm for the most part the team leader. I think It's just because my friends, I'm very bratty. I'm in real life, and so it does transfer over to the game. But I know what I'm saying, and I don't like, I don't like playing with others who try to undermine me or like come on my squad and tell me what to do. Like, I take everyone's advice and everybody's call outs and stuff like that.
You
But
definitely don't want me.
That's it.
You definitely don't want
yeah,
me.
I got into it with my boy today because I'm like, yo, they're right beneath me. They already killed you. They're right beneath me. I'm on the roof. I know they're right underneath me. You're on the first floor. Like, you could dip out and I could drop a strike and we have time to, like, get out of this situation, because you should not be pushing into a building because you don't know where they are. Did he listen to me? He did not. He gets tore up and I jump down, don't know where they are, and we die. And I'm like, if you had just listened, but I do find that it's harder to get somebody to listen to a woman. If my boys tell me like, nah, this is crazy, we need to back off, we need to just back off, I don't I don't contest that. I'm just like, okay. But when I say it, I gotta give them a whole list of fucking reasons as to why we should back off.
You know what it is, at least from my perspective. I'm gonna keep it 100 when I'm playing with females. 'Cause I play with a lot of females. One of the games, believe it or not, that I play a lot is Overwatch, right? Like, that's my shit. And a lot of females play Overwatch, right?
Yeah.
And y'all don't shut the fuck up, man. Not even in a video game. I can't hear shit. Like, it's just like...
See, I'm not like that. I hate people like that.
Yeah,
so
you know what I'm saying?
People that I play with, we like, the only talking we do is like joking and talking shit or like random singing. But like, we definitely are a group that doesn't like people who want to talk about the stock market on the game. Like, shut the fuck up. I don't care how good your stock is doing right now. Okay? I want to, it's joking, but it's, at the same time, you need to not be, because then you get caught up in the random, like,
fuck you. That's me.
I was like, fuck it, back up.
No. See, that would piss me off. Like,
I'll fuck it up. I ain't that bad.
I don't give a shit about your stock. I don't care right now. I care about like where we going next. Where's the circle going? I mean, not to say like, you don't talk about bullshit, but like anything that requires you to like think, any conversation that requires you to think, to give actual input, should be kept off of the mic, because then you're just clogging it up and you're distracted, and like, I don't got time for none of that. I don't care how much money you made today. We could talk about that in a group chat.
For all my listeners, especially worldwide listeners, a lot of people don't understand, like, the hood really do this video game shit.
They do.
And it doesn't get the recognition that it deserves. Like, people think video games, or even, I didn't even know PC gaming was big in the hood. And there's like a whole community on that. You feel me? You don't see it on TV as much as I would like to. So
no, it's not. It should be represented way more, because a lot of dudes and females in the hood are investing in streaming equipment, streaming PCs. They're smart. They know what they need, what goes into building a good PC, and you just don't hear about hood niggas building PCs. And I think it, even if it is for gaming, I think it does deserve more recognition.
Yeah, and plus it keeps motherfuckers out in the street, because I keep it on 100.
Absolutely.
When I'm in the game, I'm not out on the street, so I'm not shooting niggas. I'm not getting in trouble. I'm not cheating. I'm home. You feel me? I'm home straight up. I'm just keeping it 100. You feel me? So it's just like,
females, take note. Just let that man game.
Yeah, word up. I don't know, because I met a couple of chicks. Like, I'm older, so like I met a couple of females that be like, oh, like, you 30 something and you still a video game? Yeah, bitch. Like, the fuck wrong with you? Like you don't like it? I mean,
it works for listen, the slack I get for being a 34-year-old mother of 3 who chooses to play video games is unbelievable. Like, it's gotta be that I ignore my kids. It's gotta be that I don't cook or clean. And I'm like, are you joking? Like, what do you mean? It's a hobby, just like anything else. Like,
he's just mad that you're not sucking their dick. That's all. That's all that is. That's all really what it is. That's really what it is. I've never gotten it
from a man, but I just mean like from other people, or people who just try to be funny, And I mean, anybody that I've dealt with has been like super excited that I'm not nagging about you getting off the game. Instead, I'm like, what's up? Throw on Mortal Kombat. Whoever loses pays for dinner. But I mean, as a female gamer, it is harder because we're not like how our mothers and grandmothers were, where everything was in the kitchen, everything was doing laundry and all this other stuff, and no time for things like this. And I think it's super important as a woman and a mom to not think yourself less than because you do something that's mainly for men.
Mm.
It doesn't mean that you're not paying attention to your, household duties, but like, we need some kind of outlet.
Man, fuck anybody that feels like a female can't game, especially a mother, suck my dick. Cause like what I'd rather a chick home playing video games than out being a thought any day of the fucking week and shit.
Absolutely.
So like and I know a lot of chicks that binge watch Love and Hip Hop or just Netflix period and shit. What the fuck is the difference between binge
That's what I was
watching
thinking.
or
That's
you
what I
video
think
gaming?
too. Exactly. Like
So
you spend time watching a TV show, but like I'm interacting with my friends. We're in a good mood. Everybody's laughing, joking, instead of just being zoned out watching TV. Either way,
I feel like as
you're
long
not
as you
watching
still
TV and paying
productive,
attention to your kids. Like you're not being involved with your
yeah.
kids. You're zoned out on a TV show. So, and I do watch shows and stuff, but like in my spare time, I do like to sit and game. And I'm not like an outdoorsy type person. I'm not like I go out on occasion before COVID, to the bar and stuff, but I don't really be like driving around. My car is almost a year old and it has like 4,000 miles on it. And I don't go anywhere. So this is like my way to like keep in contact with my friends and, just chop it up, and I don't like having people over my house and stuff. So like I get to interact with everybody while at the same time keeping y'all the hell out of my space.
That's real shit right there. I can respect that. And it's just like I was gonna say before, like this I'm still surprised that there's even taboo still about, women video gaming or just older
Oh
people
my God,
video
yes.
gaming. Like, it's just it's entertainment. It's called an entertainment system for a reason. You're supposed to be entertained by it, just like you're entertained by Blu-rays or Netflix. That's how you entertain. And so, what really gets a lot of dudes pissed off is when a girl is good. Cause now you got beat by a girl, and that's really what it be about. Cause it's like when you play
that's
basketball and you and the chick is better than you and she's getting more shots than you. You already catch feelings because you just
I
automatically
can't tell
feel
you how many
inferior.
times someone has said something to me or tried to tell me what to do in the game, and I'm like, dude, you got less damage than me, you got less kills than me, your kill death ratio is in the negative. Like, why? What qualifies you for this position of pumpkin keeper? Why are you babysitting me? Like, I want to know what makes you qualified for this position, because a lot of people I come across, I've been gaming longer than them. I've been gaming since I was literally a kid. My first like shooter game that I fell in love with was like Halo, and like that's where the online gaming community started for me. And a lot of these dudes didn't start back then. They were playing maybe 2K and stuff like that, but like they weren't, playing these shooter games back then. And then they come now and they want to tell me what to do. I'm like, yo, I've been playing this run and gunning game since way before you. Or even I'll post a clip. I'm a member of some of the pages, that Call of Duty and Fortnite and things like that. And I'll post a clip and I could wipe a team. I could literally have no life and wipe a team, and they'll be like, oh, she got lucky. I'm like, bitch, I wiped the team, res my teammate, and still didn't die. And I got lucky? Like, how is that luck? But if it was a male doing that, they'd be like, yo, good shit. That was clutch.
And not only are you a female, but you're also Latina, correct?
I am. I'm Puerto Rican.
So that like even makes it even more of an issue because like you don't see barely any Latinas or just black women in general like really gaming. I know there's a game.
Yeah.
I know a lot that
game,
game, believe it or not. But it's just they're not represented. You feel me? I'm just now seeing like Spanish female characters, black female characters. Like in games, like the one game, what the fuck is that shit called? It's like Warzone and Overwatch.
Apex.
Yeah, that. And like just to see, I thought it was dope to just see a Jamaican chick on there.
Yeah, they had Jamaican, they have Asian, they have, and I think Warzone as well, Call of Duty as well, is doing a great job with being diverse, having
because who don't want to kill somebody that look like them.
And a lot, but not even just that. A lot of my male friends, feel like, I mean, it's bullshit because the hitbox is the same size for whatever character, but they have these slimmer women and stuff, and like a lot of the male players that I know, their character is a female player because they feel like it's a slimmer, a smaller, more, easier, more tactical player to play with. And then you go in and they have Muslim women, they have Asian women, Jamaican women. I think Call of Duty is doing a great job with having female representation. They even put them like on the main screen and everything, and that was unheard of before, to have, somebody in full riot gear or things like that, and it be a person of color, not only, but also a female of color. And I think they're doing a great job with that.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. I've always felt like I never really had, when I'm playing video games growing up, like characters that I could relate to. Like it ain't nothing, I don't want to, make this a race thing, because it's not just that. But when you're a minority kid and you just as much into video games as white people and Asian, and you just wish that I wish I had a character that looked like me, that just wasn't a stereotype, like a Mexican wrestler, or just something that was just regular. You feel me? And to see that shit now, I just think is dope. And
Yeah, it is. It's super dope, especially in the games that we love. It wasn't really in the games that we love. It was in, it was just rare. It's not rare anymore.
Yeah, and
not that we weren't always cool, but people of color are cool now.
Yeah,
so we're gonna ride this wave.
Why not?
We ain't never gonna give the spotlight back, but they should have never let us in.
Word.
Now we don't know how to act.
Hey, but listen, since we're gonna just roll on it, because Black History Month is about to be over, and I just want to say this, for Black History Month, that being Puerto Rican, I always had an issue growing up and just seeing how Black people were always separated when it came to talking about American culture or just American things, period. Black people literally built America to what it is. And I joke around all the time, but I mean it. Black people have contributed a lot to society, and we wouldn't have known anything about Facebook, Instagram, none of that, right? If it wasn't, the hood made that shit jumping. Like Facebook, remember Facebook was just a college app. Then
I still remember.
Then the hood got touched it, and it became this big social media thing. Twitter was whack. Twitter was just a bunch of people talking about what they ate for dinner until Black Twitter made that shit popping, right or wrong. So it's like Black culture is American culture. And I feel like, people forget that sometimes. And, we can't forget that, people struggled for a lot of the things that we enjoy now. And I think that's what, this month is really supposed to be about, is that we remember that type of shit. Remember the people that really struggle for this shit, and people that still struggling for this shit. And, I just want to just let it be known there that, there's no such thing as Black culture to me. It's just American culture. Black people are a part of America. You cannot talk about American history without Black people, period.
Absolutely.
And that's all I'm going to say about that shit. And so,
this
now that
is brought to you by Loso.
that heartfelt moment was brought to you by Loso. And we're going to get to the episode here, Women Strike Back. All right, so Pumpkin, I know you listened to a little bit of the last episode. G was in his feelings. I was in my feelings. Some random nigga named Pat was in his feelings. There's a lot of men.
There was a lot of testosterone
in their feelings. A lot of weed was thrown around and shit. And,
Yeah.
I kept, I just felt like, for me, like, I be real with myself. I don't consider myself a great father, but I'm trying to be there for my daughter. And I'm, and I want to be better than what I was before I got locked up, before I was a selfish bastard. I got a lot of time to make up, so I can't call myself a good father or even dare call myself a good father. But I feel like a lot of men just pat themselves on the back. I just wanted to
I think that's the problem. It's not for you to call yourself a good father. That's where it starts, number one, recognizing that it's not about you. What makes
Go ahead.
What makes
Go ahead.
you
I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead.
What makes you a good father is not you saying you're a good father. It's about your child feeling that you're a good father. It's not recognition from anyone else besides your child. Same thing goes for being a good mother. You can try to be a good mother, but it's about also listening to your children's voices. Not when they're 20 and all fucked up and stressed out and crazy doing dumb shit. It's about listening and realizing that your children have a voice now. Your children have feelings now. They are human beings, and it's perfectly okay to sit down with your child and ask them, how can I do better? And so that way, when someone asks you, do you think that you are a good parent? Yes, I'm not a good parent because I bought them new Jordans or, put a roof over their heads. Those are your responsibilities. I'm a good parent because my child is happy and my child comes to me and my child is comfortable and my child, wants to be around me. That's what makes you a good parent, not recognition from yourself or from your friends or from Facebook or Instagram or anywhere else. Your child coming to you and having chemistry with your child is what makes you a good parent, not anything else. Everything else is what the hell you're supposed to do. I can't give you recognition for putting clothes on your child's back because you wipe your own ass, don't you? Like, it's your responsibility.
Right.
Word. All right. So let me ask you two ladies something then. Why do you think there's so many shitty baby dads?
Oh God. I mean, do you guys want like?
Yeah,
I know you.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
Go ahead, girl. Go ahead, sis.
Hold
Go
on. Let me tell you something, right? Don't hold back here. This show is about, however you feel like you need to say it, but just be real about it. You feel me?
okay.
Like, don't hold back. Go ahead.
So one reason why, just to touch on, I'm being real really quick. One reason why, so my page now it's a couple likes away from 5,000, right, on Facebook, and it would have been at 5,000, but then I would have had to turn it into a fan page and blah blah blah. But I'm like, who the fuck am I, to have this page be a fan page? But one thing I do on all of my social media platforms is I keep it real. If I'm having a bad day or I fucked up and did something really bad or just whatever it is, I put it out there. I made a mistake. This is what I learned from it. This is what I could have done better. This is what I really look like when I wake up in the morning. Just like being real.
Yeah.
So with starting a whole like gaming page and stuff like that, I was hesitant because I'm just like, I am a mom, and when things take off for you, people like, for instance, you're a felon, right? So if this takes off for you, what do you think the people who are just miserable with themselves, what are they gonna say about you first? They're gonna be like, well, you're a felon and blah blah blah. What the fuck do you know?
Yeah.
So this whole baby daddy thing, I thought about, because why? I have 3. That makes me automatically look bad. However, I have 3 that don't do anything. They don't do anything at all. I have never gone to court and fought for anybody to do anything. I don't get child support. I don't, you can't see my kid. I've never said I want a restraining order. I've never called the cops. I've never done any of those things. So saying, if you just stop at, oh, she got 3 baby daddies, it's going to be like, oh, it must be her. But if I'm not being bothersome, right, if I'm not, putting all these stipulations to how you can see the kid, I'm not asking for money, I just picked 3 wrong ones. I've done nothing to stop them from being a good father. I have not taken you to the judge. I have not asked you for money. I have not sent you a bill. In fact, with one of my baby fathers, I literally, when he took me to court to argue a $50 a week $50 a week child support order. And we have court again next month because he's still fighting me on the $50 a week child support order that I wasn't even the one to put in place. But he keeps fighting me on this, and I've literally gone to court, and the judge recognized and was like, he told him, please stop coming here. Like, you're getting on my nerves. The judge told him this, like, you coming here with your other baby moms, your 2 other baby moms, your mother, she's here by herself, and I'm well spoken. And, you know, a lot of times women get this bad rep because, you know, you try, you know, with one and you get caught up. And I was a very young mom or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, we're all older now. I have my shit together. I provide for my own. You know, what is stopping you? I hate when like men go online. It's like, oh, she won't let me see my kids and blah, blah, blah. I don't got time for none of that. Mm-hmm. You take your ass to court, and whatever you're writing on Facebook, tell it to the fucking judge. And then the judge will be neutral, and he will say, do you have reasonable accommodation for this child? I absolutely do. I got my own apartment, or I have a roommate, but they would be able to sleep in this bed. I'll sleep in the living room. It's safe. You don't even need to have a job to see your child. You don't even need to have a fucking job. You don't need to have shit besides a safe space for your child. So this whole, oh, my baby mama ain't shit, she gives me a headache. If you go about it through, and I know it's frowned upon in the Black and Spanish community, once you have visitation with your child, if your baby mother gives you a hard time, court-martial her ass. You don't even got to argue with her. Right. Here's my piece of paper. This is my weekend, and she's not letting me take them. Ma'am, you need to hand over the child. And that's it. Said and done. Right. And they're going to tell her, you got an issue with this? You need to take him to court. Otherwise, he has a legal document here saying that it is his day. So, like, what excuse is there for being a poor father? There really is none. You don't need money. You don't need any of those things, because there are fee waivers for everything that are based off of your income. Courts are for families. That means daddies too. No. So I don't know the answer to your question as to why there are shit baby daddies, because there really is no excuse to be one.
Well, you kind of answered it. And before I let Nique chime in, I want to say something about what you just said and how you just said some real shit just now about, you know, your 3 baby dads and how people review that. And I'm going to keep it a buck with you, because I'm a firm believer. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. I mean, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So when you have 3 baby dads, the first thing I'm gonna say is, you fucked up 3 times.
Absolutely, and I own that. Yeah. I own that. But made the fact 4 that decisions 3 times.
Hold up, but the fact that you own that, right? And I seen, you know, before I contacted you, like, I checked your social media to see what you was about, and I don't see nothing that would irk me or give me the response how you had said about you not knowing shit because you got 3 baby dads. What bothered me personally is when I see a female that got 3 baby dads and is on social media talking about niggas ain't shit and niggas is bums. Yeah. What is absolutely. You, bitch? What is you?
Yeah.
What is you then?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you and don't say no shit like that.
No. I wouldn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've done my fair share of, you know, baby daddy bashing, but nothing that I ever said wasn't true. Like, you know.
Yeah, but that's something different.
You should have bought diapers. Yeah. Like, what is
yeah, that's not, I don't know why niggas think they don't gotta do none of that shit. I don't even know why. Yeah. I don't even know why your baby dad is fighting over $50 a week. I wish I was paying that. Yeah. I don't get how. Yeah. Yo, I really don't get how some of these men get this shit off and still complain about this shit. Like, you don't do nothing. The least you can do is $50. Because let me tell you something. I'm not going to get into my whole this and that, but when it was time and I had to pay child support, I was like, all right, that's all they get. Like, what it is. But I'm going to make sure I pay.
If that's what the court is going to order, if that is what the court is going to order, that's fine. Because the court is going to go based off your finances or whatever. Yeah. But there is so much more that goes into raising a child.
But everybody can afford $50 a week. Anybody can afford $50 a week. That's my whole point.
You know what kills me now on social media? Oh, child support should go to the child. What people need to understand. So, like, if I get the $50, I'm going to just use my personal experience, right? Yeah. I have this little card. They put it on there sometimes, but I have learned not to rely on it. So if I want to take that shit to the liquor store and swipe it, when it finally does fucking come through, I'm going to do that. You know why? Because I came out of my own pocket and made sure her shit or my kids' shit was taken care of because I knew that I could not rely on that little card to get a little fucking deposit from you.
Yeah.
So at this point, anything that I'm doing after that is excess because my children's needs are already taken care of. I made sure of that. You didn't. Your fucking little $40, $50 came late. Bill was already due. Your shit came too late, and if I had relied on you or anything like that, like $50 a week is $200 a month. Like, what am I really supposed to do with that? And I don't want to insult people who can really use the $200 a month. I really don't want to do that.
$200 ain't shit. Fuck that. Insult the people. $200 ain't shit for nobody.
No. But I'm just saying, even
Nobody.
right now in the times, like,
That
I want to
doesn't
be
pay for
sensitive
shit.
towards, like, even like single moms who say, like, shit, you think the $200 is food, and I do get that. But even so, it's hard to be in a predicament where $200 can make or break you. So that's why I say $200 ain't shit, but to some it's a lot. But, at the same time, saying like, oh, well, X amount of dollars, it should be. And don't get me wrong, I know there's some deadbeat mothers out there that, they do spend, they get the child support and they live in wrong and they still spend the money the wrong way. But I feel like that's not what we're talking about. Two wrongs don't make it right.
Talking about them bitches too. You know who you are.
Yeah, but I feel like the woman, even if she's not living right, I know a lot of females, they make poor decisions in front of their children. Even when I was young, I made some pretty shitty decisions.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, who's putting the baby to bed? Who's making sure that no matter what they gotta fucking do, like, the kid is safe and not out in the cold, the kid is not hungry. And not to say that this doesn't, that there aren't women out there who just don't give a shit about their kids. And like, I've seen it firsthand. I've had to go help a child who I seen roaming in the street. Like, where the fuck is your mother? And they left the child by themselves, and I had to call the authorities. Like, this child is by himself, and his mom came home and tried to fight me later. I will gladly, what's up? That's because what you did was wrong. So there's, we're not talking about those moms who got issues and like leave their kids home alone and stuff, but moms very often, how taboo is it for you to say like, oh, well, the baby's here now. And as a woman, be like, I don't really feel like I don't want to deal with a baby. So I'm just here, Dad, take the baby. That shit is taboo. But dads do that every minute of the day. Like, now this doesn't really work for me, so I'm gonna dip out. And then moms are left carrying the weight.
Oh, I know a bunch of females just felt that because Nique was like,
Because it's true. Like, how
I'm gonna let you talk, but fellas, I got us. But go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk.
But do they not?
I ain't saying shit until you done.
Isn't it more normal?
Because I got a lot to say.
Isn't it more normal for a woman to go through a whole pregnancy and things like that, and
yes,
then at the end, a man can be like, I ain't really fucking with you like that, so therefore I ain't fucking with my kid like that. But a woman, when a woman does it, it's just like, well, something got to be wrong with her. What kind of a mom don't want her child? What makes it any different?
I'm gonna tell you why. You ready?
Why?
Because you got titties and a vagina. I already know. Listen, some things you just can't beat in science. You feel me? I cannot produce milk, so therefore I am not the nurturer. You are the nurturer and everything. If something happens to you, I'm your vice president when it comes to raising kids. Something happens to you, then I have no choice but to step in. But at the end of the day, if we're out in the wild, right, and we just take away technology and all this other shit, and there's only one way to feed this baby, and it ain't through me.
Okay, but we're not just talking about like this infancy.
I let you talk. Hold on,
I'm
gonna get all this is gonna be
infancy.
No, because all this has to do with what I'm about to say. Because men and women see this stuff two different ways, and what I really feel like we don't understand is that we really do. When there's the book called Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, it was saying that for a reason. It's two different planets. It's two different ways of looking at things. You get what I'm saying? So everything you said is absolutely correct. I don't disagree with anything you said when it comes to, bum ass niggas not doing what they supposed to do and everything, and how $200 ain't shit. It definitely ain't. And for any man should come out his own pocket and pay more than $200. I don't give a fuck who you is. Don't bust a nut in her then if you don't want to take care of it. I'm gonna say that. Now, for all the rest of the men that do what they supposed to do, there's a narrative that we don't always talk about as much. A lot of women are frauds. A lot of women will go on social media and paint this whole other narrative that they doing what they supposed to be doing, and the nigga ain't doing shit. And, what is a man supposed to do? Yes, a man can go to court. You absolutely correct. But let me tell you something. I was raised in the streets and shit. I don't fuck with the police, period. The fact that he even had to go to family court is the reason why, I'm going to say it's for everybody, is the reason why I don't fuck with my baby mom to begin with. Because I was not raised to bring the court system into my family. There's nothing that me and her couldn't handle on our own. But the problem was,
most times it should be handled at home.
The problem was we was both immature. So what happened was we was both immature. Neither one of us should have been having the kid in the first motherfucking place. And so therefore now we gotta have this judge tell me what the fuck to do, tell you how to be a mother and tell me how to be a father. And that shit is crazy. So for a lot of men, the stigma of just having to go to court is a lot and everything. Because, for real niggas, snitching and messing with the police means at all, on all forms.
I agree.
You get what I'm saying?
I think that's a mentality. I think that is a mentality we need to grow out of, especially most importantly for our children. If
Absolutely.
if you don't have, a lot of people think like, oh, a judge is going to tell you how to live and what to do with your kid. No, but if you cannot get a schedule set with your baby mother, and believe me, I know baby mamas can be difficult. I know. I have as you know, in the gaming community, it is dominated by men. So therefore, I got all my boys telling me, like, can you talk to my baby mom? Can you tell her how to act? How is it that you're so laid back? And, I really don't ask nobody to do shit. Like, if this isn't going to genuinely come from you, then not only am I going to see it, my kid is going to see it as well. And I'm just going to leave it up to them. And at the end, I have had my children be upset.
Listen, tell them niggas, I got a very easy advice for them. Tell them to stop fucking gaming so goddamn much and listen to what the fuck she's saying for 5 minutes. I guarantee you that girl will start stressing so damn much.
Not even just that. Like, when it comes to parenting in general, like when, with my children's fathers, when my children are upset with their fathers, I don't blame the dad. I blame myself, because 9 times out of 10, this nigga ain't about shit. But you're just too young and dumb and so caught up with wanting the nigga and, not thinking of the rest of your life that this could affect. And you make this poor decision and then it results in a child. So when my children are upset, I tell them, I am sorry. I should have made a better decision, because at the end of the day, I put you in this predicament because I already knew what it was going to be and I ignored it for my own selfish reasons. And now you're paying for it. I should have thought this through. And so, not that we should take the blame, but you, as a mom, I feel like that's the only thing you should say to your child until your child is old enough to see, hear, and feel on their own and come to their own conclusion about their dad. You should not be baby daddy bashing to no babies.
Word. All right. So, Pumpkin, Nique, females in Massachusetts, New York, Jersey, California, around the world. Let me ask y'all females all a fucking question then. Why the fuck y'all keep letting these niggas bust in you and get y'all all the time? Why is this not stopping already? I keep hearing females say the same thing over and over and over again. And y'all absolutely right. But let me ask you this. Why the fuck is it still so easy for me to slide up in somebody's DM, say the right little things and shit, and let me be the one to decide whether or not if I want to get you pregnant and shit, and then be like, you know what? This bitch crazy. I don't want to deal with this shit. Fuck her and these kids. She got SSI. She got there's Section 8 for her. I could be out. Because that's what a lot of niggas really just be thinking. Am I wrong, G? Am I wrong, G?
Yeah, you're right.
That's what a lot of niggas be thinking. I know a lot of niggas go lie on their dick and say, no, that's not the truth. But that's really what it be. They know she gonna be straight and shit. So they can come and go where the fuck they please. So y'all know this. So why y'all still letting these duck ass niggas do it?
I mean, I don't know, Nique. How do you have children, Nique? I don't know how old are your
I
children.
don't have children. I was not letting these niggas busting me.
See, smart girl, smart girl.
Keep it 100. Keep it 100, but not for nothing though. Like, first of all, I'm gonna say like thanks for being real about, you know, mistakes being made on both parties. But I think what you really touched on was responsibility, right?
Absolutely.
That there is nothing that stops you from responsibility, right? And it's fucked up that the world like puts all this responsibility on you having to be a mother, and there's no responsibility for men having to be a father, right?
Yep.
But I will agree with Loso in saying that there is something that is genetically tied to who we are as an individual carrying a child that requires us to feel that sentimental attachment to a child that, you know, a man doesn't necessarily feel in any process. The things that we go through to bring a child into the world makes it a lot difficult for even society to say that it's okay for you to not give a shit about the child, right? There's no way.
I agree to that sense. I do agree. I meant more so not just infancy. I meant so just for like providing later on in life, things that you are physically able to provide, that it's me and you have the same means. Like it has nothing to do with my body parts or anything like that. Like, you know what you need to survive, therefore you automatically should know what the fuck a kid needs to survive.
Exactly.
So what stops you from buying food and clothes and panties and underwear? Like what stops you?
And even just being also a kind of father that also nurtures in the way that men nurture their children, right? The things that you learn from a father, right? That is also part of responsibility. It's not just, you know, I lived in, you know, a 2-family household. My father was always around, and my father is a good father, not because of he brought money into the household. When I think about my father, I think about the things my father did for me as I'm growing up. And it wasn't monetary things, because that's not how children look at things, right? Children are not looking at whether or not dad brought over $50 for me to have diapers. Like, that's not what children are looking at. They're looking at presence, right? And how are you present in their life? And so you're absolutely right when you say that there's nothing stopping you from being a real father. But maybe Loso's onto something when he says like men have gotten into this like habit of like society's going to take care of her and the child, I don't need to be there, right? I'm not effing with her no more, then I don't need to be there. And that's messed up. And that's the thing that I'm saying, like, you a deadbeat dad because you think that either A, because you're giving your little $50 a week, you're somehow a father now, or B, because I call you and ask you to do X, Y, and Z stuff, you just do it. That's not all that makes you a father. A father, when people say I have a good dad, it's not just those things that make you a good father.
And I think what society has done as well, and what we've allowed society to do, and I think it is one of women's most important jobs. Stop letting people tell y'all are less important than mothers. You are just as fucking important as mothers. You play such a crucial role in a little boy's life, in a little girl's life. You are important. Your opinion, your guidance, your love, your affect, everything is just as important. Believe me, a child who knows their father and has been around their father feels a void when their father is not present. You know, so you let society downplay what a father means to a child, when in reality, oh my God, you're pivotal in what it takes to raise a child, and you know, to guide a child in the way that he should walk. Like, and it's this stigma that, you know, Black men aren't great fathers, or Puerto Rican men aren't great fathers, or they don't talk about their feelings and things like that. Let me tell you something. I also grew up without my father. I mean, he was around, but you know, he wasn't really around, and I was at his house, but he was running the streets. But my grandfather, his warmth and his guidance and his encouragement, he played very much a fatherly role in my life. It is a huge part of who I am today. My softness, my humility, all those things I got from a man. I didn't get those things from a woman. I got those, like those core parts of my being, I got them from a man. You know, so I feel like society needs to stop downplaying what,
But I
you know,
mean,
because
like,
then
who's
it,
fueling that society though? Because you know those females that are on there talking about, I don't need a nigga, I don't need none of these
I hate
baby
that.
dads, da 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 da. Like the man
No,
ain't
my
important.
fire alarm is going off and it needs a new battery, so I need a man. I can't reach it.
But see,
Right.
yeah, but see, that be some real shit. Like, you know, and for men, because you know, a lot of men act like they don't need a female, or they just want to fuck.
Oh,
A lot of men know they need women. Like, you know, we need to be reminded when we need to take vitamins. We need, you know, somebody to watch shit that we overlook. You know, and it's really, and men really be missing that shit when they don't got it no more. And that's
They
what they
do,
really
but
be
in order
sick.
to keep this like macho persona, you know, they got to be.
Yeah, it's just
I recently had this debate with someone because they were talking about Sierra and Russell Wilson. They were like,
yeah.
"Oh, he's soft and blah blah blah," and I said, "If only you knew that your nigga be laid up just like that with his girl talking about, I don't want to ever lose you, your little gangster friend who be acting so tough."
Oh, they
When
all
he
do
get
it.
home,
We all do it. We all do it. I don't give a fuck. I
I don't
do it
want
all
to
the
lose
time. I
you,
don't
you know,
care. Fuck
because
yeah.
it is true, and it's
Gio was like,
Yeah, we all do it. I don't care. So,
yeah, I mean, it's the truth. Though. I'm like, come on, it really does. Like, you know, dudes get lonely just like anybody else,
yeah.
and even though, but it's how you handle that
It really be
loneliness.
the
Like,
cornballs that do shit like that though. Cause the nigga that's really confident with himself don't really mind shit. You know, showing a little bit of softness. It's, you know, what we be worried about is y'all using that to your advantage, and then
agreed.
we gotta rubber band that shit back, and then like, all right, now I gotta be a thug again, cause you just
Yeah.
you know, you acting up. I think that really be what be the eternal struggle for a lot of men, because you know, a lot of females. Man, I'm gonna keep it 100. A lot of females harder than most of these niggas nowadays and shit. From the way they
I,
come, from the way they come, from the way they talk to you. Like, you know, before I got
I
locked
feel
up,
like, you know, nobody gonna ride for you like your girl gonna ride for
yeah.
you. Like,
If you
nobody.
got the right one, because a lot of chicks think they gonna ride until they start seeing them guns and shit, and then they like, oh shit. When they see them sirens and the door gets kicked down, then you really find out you got a ride or die bitch or not. And I seen a lot of females fold. We already talked about that last episode. I ain't about to get into all that again. But there are some real ride or die ones, and for those are the ones that, you know, niggas fall head over heels for. Niggas don't know how to act. And I think, you know, a lot of it has to do with the reason why women get mistreated so bad nowadays, because you can't really learn how to treat a woman from your mother. You would think you could, but the reality is, mom is team you. So, and mom is team you and fuck bitches. So, you know, your mom is really
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Wow, I never
yeah,
noticed. Yeah,
that
that is true.
so your mom ain't really go tell you. Your mom ain't say, oh, you know, you need to find a nice girl, you need to find a good girl. She'll say shit like that, but at the end of the day, if you out there ripping and running and fucking bitches, she's just gonna tell you, don't bring me no baby you ain't gonna take care of back over here, because I ain't taking care of it. But she ain't really schooling you on no shit. Now a man, on the other hand, will sit a man down and be like, listen, man, you need to take care of your responsibilities. Because at the end of the day, you know, you did that. And, you know,
Yeah,
the problem is, boys ain't getting told that anymore.
That's because
I agree.
there's too many baby dads and not enough fathers. That's what it is.
Boom.
Exactly.
That's
Boom.
what it is.
I will say though, so I have my two oldest are girls and my youngest is a boy, and I'm recently out of a 7 year long relationship, and I will say, he would argue with me with how soft I was with my son, and like, he's not gonna learn this and he's not gonna learn that, and you know, but the you need to respect your mother came from him. So I think I agree. It takes a father to be like, yo, you don't talk to your mother that way. You do not talk to your mother that way.
Yeah.
You know, because he's had my son since he was a baby, and he was the one telling him, like, you need to respect, you need to do this, you need to do that. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, he's just a brat.
A mom can only be so many things. A mom can only
Yeah.
be so many things. And, you know, I respect I want all y'all ladies to understand it, as, you know, the single moms and that's really doing their thing. I'm not trying to, like, get at y'all. I want y'all to understand, y'all all superwomen. But at the end of the day, damn, you didn't have to do that shit alone, and you know you didn't have to do that shit alone.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and had you just positioned yourself in, better, you wouldn't be having to
Let
do that
me. So
alone.
wait,
Hold up.
can I call a timeout? I didn't answer your question earlier, so that's because
Go
that
ahead.
ties into what you're saying as far as like positioning yourself better.
Go
So
ahead.
Nique gave her answer. She doesn't have any kids, right?
Yeah.
So here's my answer that I feel like is going to give you a different take.
Mm-hmm.
In the Black and Latino community, we do not get mental help. We don't get counseling. We don't get none of that. We just, get over it.
Yeah.
I did not value myself as a teenager. I made poor decisions. I didn't have a good relationship with my mother. My father was non-existent. And so, you don't have guidance in your teens. And if you don't have guidance in your teens and you don't love yourself in your teens and you don't get the help and the just the tools to succeed as a teen, what do you go on to do? So notice Nique made better decisions, but she comes from a 2-parent household. I come from barely a 1-parent household, and I made drastically different decisions. So how can you make better decisions if you don't know what better decisions are? If no one taught you what better decisions are, if nobody taught you that, it's true what they say that some people would rather negative attention than no attention at all. And I felt like when I had my children, because I felt so alone and I was so lost and I was a much different person back then and so down on myself that I accepted, this attention from these dudes, and it was like a temporary high type thing. And I didn't think long term, like, how is this going to affect my life long term? And I made poor decisions, and not having a mother or a father to turn to and get that advice from just kept leading like, is it hot? Yeah, it's hot. I'm gonna burn myself, but maybe next time I won't burn myself. Like, you kind of, it's very much so trial and error when you're on your own, especially mentally when you're on your own, when you have no one but your peers who are fucking up as well to help you make these huge life decisions. You know what I mean?
But that's like an epidemic in our communities, right? Like the acceptance of dysfunction in our community is just like okay, right? The acceptance of like you can be 13 and have a baby and be okay is accepted in our community in such a way that is, saddening, right? Because that's how you have, a child raising children, and then you have like dysfunction as an adult, and then you grow up to try and like figure it all out, right? And eventually,
because if you didn't have a good childhood, how do you make good decisions as an adult?
Right. But I think the thing is we can't accept those standards anymore. And I think that there's too much acceptance of, baby daddy versus father, right?
Exactly.
There's too much acceptance of that. This my BM, like that. White folks are not talking like that in their communities, right?
No,
right? No. There's too much acceptance and
glorification.
Hold
on. We're gonna stop that shit right now. And for all my white, from all my white listeners, hold on.
It doesn't happen, and she should have said less common.
Hold up, because I gotta speak for my white listeners. Don't worry, I got y'all, white people. I got y'all. That shit's going on in their community too. All right. I watch white Facebook and I watch white Twitter all the time. Don't let that shit fool you. We done corrupt them too now. And shit.
Always awful now.
It is. Do you not see MTV Teen Mom? All them crazy ass white chicks. Right. Who they acting like? They acting like a bunch of sisters and Spanish chicks and shit. We done fucked them up, man. We used to be able to look across the suburbs and be like, well, at least they know what the fuck they doing. We can't even do that no more.
But I think even in the white community, like, so I went to Shelton High, predominantly white, and I've seen them white kids doing shit that you would not catch no Puerto Ricans or no black kids doing. That's when I was introduced to cocaine, and not that I ever, disclaimer, I never did none of that shit. I smoked weed and it was a little bit too much for me. So I damn sure wasn't trying anything else. But what I'm saying is the hardcore drugs, the hardcore like crazy behavior, I didn't see in the black and Spanish community. I've seen that shit in the white community, because despite them having two-parent households,
Mm-hmm.
their parents were not being involved with their kids and letting them drink and have boyfriends and do wild
Right.
shit at a very young age and thinking like, oh, well, she's got a 3.8 GPA, so she's going to be successful in life.
Right.
No, ma'am, your kid is a drug addict. You know, like
Yeah.
that's not how it works. I think the real change comes about when accepting. It took me a really long time to stop being angry with the world and angry with my parents and things like that, and then say, how can I be better?
Right.
You know, how no one made me sleep with so and so and have a child or whatever. That's
Right.
ultimately, I paid the price for that. So I think the best that we can do going forward is communicating with your children and, you know, hopefully leading them down a path that would lead them to make better decisions, so that my kid isn't like me, turning 20 in the hospital after giving birth. You know, like I don't want that to happen for my child. And, you know, not hiding your mistakes, not running from your mistakes. Put them out there. Put them out there. Keep your struggles like on Front Street, so that way, you know, scare your kids straight. Now, oh, I heard so and so did that. No, no, no. Your mama did that and it was stupid as fuck. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because oh, you know, you wanna have like, you wanna be your kid's superhero and stuff like that. And, you know, superheroes have this whole indestructible thing. No, no, no. No, I done broken into pieces a million times and then picked myself back up again. And this is how I did it. You know, instead of hiding those things, use them as a lesson, and be raw and be real, and, you know your children and talk to them and communicate with them and see what they're struggling with. Don't think that mental health is some sort of taboo thing where we're just going to ignore it, because kids who are not mentally stable in preteen become mentally unstable teenagers, and then they become mentally unstable adults, and then the cycle continues. So I feel like that's the answer here, as to like, oh, well, why didn't you make better decisions? Well, because nobody taught me how to make better decisions. So it was a trial and error situation. So I think what we have to do is eliminate the trial and error, and more so, this is what happens if you make this decision. Like, this is definitely what's going to happen if you make this decision, and giving advice to your children, not just, you know, giving them chores or letting them hang out with friends or let them listen to music. Have talks with your kids, not just when they're in high school, before they're in high school. Talk to them about choosing the right circle of friends and just like all of those things. Be the first to talk about them with them, not like a movie on Disney Plus or like just like crazy shit that happens. And like, the world should not teach your kid about life. You need to fucking teach your kid about life. So that way, when they're presented with a situation, they be like, my mama warned me about this shit. So I'm gonna say no.
Yo, that's real talk.
Yeah, it's about being a parent, right? Like, the whole thing about deadbeat dads is that you're not a parent, you know? And then there's also the acceptance of like what role as a mother you played and what's happened, or what your child is going through, or what is happening in the dynamics between you and the father of your child. Like, I think that you're absolutely right in the sense that a lot of people, I think what's great about you is that you take responsibility for the role that you played, and also acknowledge like why you made the decisions you made, right? And that you're real about those things. I think a lot of people run away from that piece of who they
and
are.
It's a hard realization. You know, and honestly, I came to that realization when I was in a relationship. But my advice would be to try to come to that realization of what you need to fix within yourself before getting into a relationship, because you know, a lot of times we just cover up how we're feeling. You know, they say in order to get over one, in order to get over one thing, you get under one. And, you know, when do you have time to kind of, you know, process and move forward if you're not taking time with yourself? And before you become a mother, before you become a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, fiance, whatever the fuck, spend a couple of nights by yourself. Like, soak in those feelings and like cope with your shit, because whatever you don't cope with, you're going to carry into a relationship, and then being a parent, and then being a grandparent, and then there you go, it's a generational fucking curse.
And then,
you know, so
back to the same cycle.
It's going to just keep going over and over again.
I just want to say this, right? I just want you to know you're not alone. I know a lot of women that have a very similar story to you, and I know for a fact that when this show goes out this Friday, and I get the feedback, I know a lot of women gonna tell me like, "Yo, I felt old girl." Like when I say I've seen so many women go through this, feel the same way you feel, and I feel y'all. When I say I really feel y'all, Loso really feel y'all because I just I hate seeing women like well a lot of like yo fellas we done fucked these queens up, man, and it really bothers me sometimes because like I when I say I travel, I've been 14 different states, 3 different countries, and I watch other cultures and how they cherish their women, and we don't do that. Like, yeah, we say our women got the fattest asses, our women are sexy. We drool all over them all the time. But then when we come up, we go with a white chick, which is, there's nothing wrong with dating a white woman. If that's what you like, you get what I'm saying? But when you do that because you feel like your race is inferior, that's when I have a problem. You like what you like, I don't give a fuck. But with that
A lot
being
of times
said,
men date those because they think that a
it's
white
a come
woman
up,
can
yeah.
be more successful than a
Exactly.
black or Puerto Rican woman.
Exactly. And that's the point I'm trying to get, right? But and it bothers me because it's just like, damn, like we the only ones that do that. Like, and then we wonder why we in the positions and why we can't get a leg up. Well, first, if we go get a leg up and get this foot off our neck, how about we make sure we treat our queens like actual fucking queens so they can help get us that foot out of that, because we've been trying to do it for a long time by ourselves and we just can't fucking do it. So maybe if we would have treated our fucking queens like queens, maybe we wouldn't have this foot on our neck that we've had for so long as that we had, fellas. Like, for real. Like, for the fact that it's so easy for a nigga like me to come out of jail and get so much pussy, all because all I fucking do is listen and maybe take the trash out here and there. That's fucking ridiculous. I shouldn't get this much pussy for doing so little, but y'all niggas ain't doing shit.
Right.
No, they're not.
You
ain't doing shit.
Debbie's
I
all
think
around.
also
But then hate on me and be like, damn, Loso, what you doing? I really ain't doing nothing. I'm a broke nigga, don't really got money. I'm a good listener though, and I know how to lay this shit down. And I throw the trash out and clean dishes every now and then. I'm a fucking hero. I know there's ladies right now want my number. Right now, I just heard that shit. Gotta holler at that nigga.
Yo, you taking the trash out?
Yeah, he taking the trash out and cleaning the dishes and giving me good dick.
So,
You do
so
dishes?
Hold up.
I do want to say though, it also is a woman's responsibility to hold your man accountable. Like I will, despite my relationship ending, there's a lot of things I learned, both good and bad. Some things I never want to fucking tolerate again. But my ex taught me so many valuable lessons. He is my best friend in the whole entire world. He cooked, he cleaned, he wiped ass, he did laundry, he did everything. He paid the bills, he did all of those things. He didn't say like, this is my woman's responsibility. Like, especially if I'm working a 40-hour just like him, he's like, well, that's not fair. She's tired. She's doing doctor's appointments. She's doing homework. She's doing this. She's doing that. Like, yeah, I could cook tonight. And if I don't feel like cooking tonight and she don't, well, then I'm going to buy everybody a pizza. Point being, he done sorted it out. So it's not my responsibility and I get a mental break. But women at the same time have to stop expecting that there's or allowing themselves to do everything. You are a whole ass human being too. You make a mess up in this bitch too. So you should be cleaning up in this bitch too.
I agree with that 100%.
You should be, like maybe not like the deep cleaning or like.
Because listen,
or maybe
let's be real. Come on.
You fold
I think you're being a little too nice with this, and I need y'all ladies to kick up a little bit for the ladies over here. So I might have to do it and shit. First of all, most of these niggas don't even make enough money to motherfucking not do shit anyway. So, fellas, the fact that you get mad that a nigga like me gets to kick you out the house because you ain't doing the fuck you supposed to do, and not realizing that it's really just simple shit that ladies are just asking that could be done. Like, ladies is getting their own money, ladies getting their own place. Ladies don't even expect much from their kings anymore.
Right.
All they want is to not have another fucking baby. So if you don't act like a child or immature, and you can make her bust, occasionally. You don't even gotta do it all the time. 'Cause bitches will let you excuse that. We don't even let that happen. But but they just want somebody. They want to feel like somebody got their back, just like you want to feel like your woman got your back.
But the thing about that is men want you to be their freaking moms out here.
Yeah.
they want their mama.
I haven't dated in a really, really long time. Like, I was in a solid 7-year relationship. There was no makeup, breakup, none of that. So I haven't dated in a very long time.
You should have said that. Now you gonna have all the creep niggas from that's listening gonna be hitting you up like, yo,
like pumpkin.
Yeah, somebody.
Valentine's Day, I got over 100 DMs on Valentine's Day. Over 100.
It was like, yo, pumpkin.
But the things that I'm hearing about the dating scene, I'm like, y'all letting these niggas get away. Like, we in our 30s now. I can understand 20, 21, 22, letting you nigga be lazy, but like
niggas coming with the same shit.
Are you joking? I am not looking
old
for.
as hell.
I have not. We've been broken up since November. And I have not gone on one date or nothing because I am just not looking forward to it because I do not hear good things. I do not hear nothing good.
Yo, like you said, it's a trial and error.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the show really about to get in because Loso about to say some shit about this dating scene shit, right? All right. So, I hope y'all comfortable.
Grab your tea, grab your coffee.
Listen,
grab your
tea. You might want to roll up this one. We are now going to go into Loso's past and talk about how he was the pioneer of online dating. And so, I remember, for those, some of y'all are a little too young to remember America Online and how it was the shit back in the day, where you had all these different chat rooms. And you would have to talk. You didn't even know what this person looked like. You didn't know shit about this person, what her real age is. You just had a hope when you hit ASL that person was being honest with you and shit. Because there was a lot of trial and error. You talk about catfish. Fuck being catfish. I got whale fish so many fucking times and shit that we don't even got enough time for all the crazy shenanigans and shit. But when the online dating scene became very crazy, I would say when MySpace really became a thing. And
yeah, I agree.
It became so easy to talk to a chick. Before, you actually had to put in all this work, you feel me? And I used to have to sit in hours in chat room just for a bitch to give me her number. And shit, I'll be there 2 weeks in the same chat room, and finally she sends me a private message. Here you go, here's my number, or email. Remember them shits back in the day? You had to wait for an actual email, and so you get the number. Then you suit. Now you're like, I got a number and shit. And so then you go through the motions. Now you calling her for another maybe week or so. If she local, you probably already smashed. But if not, now it's a whole other week. You gotta work this shit up. You finally do it. Get up there. This bitch don't look nothing like she's supposed to look. She's supposed to look like Stacey Dash, and she look like Precious when you go up that motherfucker. And, you just like, damn, man, like, I can't believe I just came all the way to Newark for this shit. Now, as you can see, I was talking personal experience. But online dating changed the game. I was sitting, with a lot of, old school players and shit. And, they always be like, no, so you swear you got the ladies, but you don't got the game. Like, I got it. And, he had his little Stacey Dash, little 2-piece on. I'm looking at him up and down. I'm like, look at this fucking idiot. He swear he fly and shit. And so I told him, I'm like, in your era, you had to do the most to talk to a lady. I was like, I got an app for that now. I could literally fucking holler at a chick all the way from Detroit and shit. And just, I was just a train ticket away, my brother. And I was like, you had to come up with this super fly persona and come up with all these games and lingo just so you could holler at the chick and just get a little attention. All I gotta do is make sure I'm not the guy to send her a dick pic or creeps her out, and I got 1 foot in that motherfucker.
Definitely
And
do. Or he went on a liking spree on my page, so
just
he's
Right.
feeling me.
yeah. so like this shit's crazy because it is a crazy world. Cause look how I had to contact you. Like I had to make sure let you know, yo, I ain't on no creep shit and anything. I'm just trying to get you on this interview because like I have to do shit like that because just dating and just the internet is just crazy nowadays. I'm glad I'm not a female because I would clown these niggas that send all these dick pics.
I
and
will
shit.
say it's becoming so the more popularity, my not even my gaming page yet, my personal page, the more popularity it gets, the more I can't believe that men like this like really fucking exist. Like really, really exist.
It's
Like
the
I thought it was a
If it
myth.
really is the internet's fault, listen, for everything that's going on right now, how relationships are getting fucked up, how rats is living good, how you got a nigga like 6ix9ine that could just go and just make millions and shit. The internet allows people to do things they normally wouldn't do in your fucking face and
You can be
shit.
whoever you want on
Yeah,
the
you can
internet.
be whoever
You
you
can be
want.
whoever you
You
want.
right, Pumpkin. And that's the shit that irks me the most. And that was the whole point of this podcast is that on this show you can't be whoever you want. You gotta be you.
Yeah.
And like, I'm tired of this shit. Like everybody shooting a movie, everybody, is rich all of a sudden. I never seen so many people in the hood rich and shit. If everybody in the hood's fucking rich, why are we calling it the hood still? We should be calling these shits the hills. Cause everybody got money. Everybody got money. You look on Facebook, nobody broke. Everybody else is calling somebody else a broke ass nigga and shit. Really, bitch, you on Section 8 and my G, you over here sitting here and waiting for allowance and shit.
Somebody actually said something. So I posted a status the other day about please stop posting what you're making through the stock market. Like, stop posting your profits because, like, I know you still live in the hood and it's just not a good look. Like, niggas will still rob you. They will still do crazy shit because you're posting your profits. Why? Because the hood mentality is if he made 20K in the stock market today, then maybe he got some of that shit stashed at his house or he got some nice shit that I could rob him for. For what was that? Some dudes that I used to run with, whatever, thought that I was talking about them because coincidentally, and what I mean by pure fucking coincidence, he had touched 20K that day in the stock market and posted it. But in reality, is it now all over your timeline? Like everybody's posting, I made X amount of dollars in the stock market. I made this, I made that. And I'm like, I could understand if you was like really into the stocks and this is your job and you live in a secure area. But you still hanging with the local stick-up kid and you're posting how much you're making. And niggas get jealous. They get greedy. And the internet makes it so easy for them to plot on you because one day you post, I made 20K. The next week you post that you're in Mexico and the nigga is on your friend on Facebook and he's like, we gonna run up in his house. And then little do they know your mama lived there and next thing, what happens? Your mom is there, your house get robbed, somebody gets shot. It's just a whole bunch of craziness because you was on the internet acting fucking stupid and posting your money.
Well, I kind of agree with you to a certain extent. Like, the way I look at those things, that's their own fault and shit. Like, you get robbed because you sold 20K. That's on you. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But, when it comes to the stock market, right? I think what a lot of hood people, I'm going to look behind me, need to understand is that this game is not for a particular person or a person that does a 9 to 5. This game is being run by people that don't even go to college for this shit, by the way. And so what we need to get in our head understanding is just that this game is a free market, meaning anybody can get in on this game. And it's a hustle. And it's a hustle like anything else. You feel me? It's something I started learning. I never took it serious. I always had something in there, but more so because some Polish dude I used to know when I was in jail, he kind of like spit me on to the game on how stock market works and shit. But it wasn't until like, the last couple of years I really started looking at it and really started, looking at a different avenue on how to take my hustling mentality instead of just flipping the dope and shit, taking that same type of energy and flipping this stock market into that. And so, I would never flex my earnings, but I would really flex what I'm investing in because, I want people to understand that shit's cool. Matter of fact, in a couple of episodes, we're going to have people from the hood, from Cali to New York to out here that do this stocking shit and make money, you feel me? And it's just like, I just want people, especially hood people, to start getting the mentality of looking for other avenues. And don't take my word for it or think that my word is gold. I'm just saying from a nigga that's learning it himself and is doing it and shit, that always look for other ways for avenue. And back what you said, yeah, you shouldn't put change. You shouldn't put money, in front of your face. But it's the same thing with female. You shouldn't be talking about what new Balenciagas or red bottoms or whatever the fuck you got going. Nobody should be flexing that shit and then get robbed and wonder what happens and shit. Nobody. That's you show money. If anybody says Loso showed money in any pictures, it's a goddamn lie. And shit.
I think there's a difference with the stock market between showing your earnings and showing like, hey, ETH, for example, is up today. This is what it was at yesterday. I've invested in this. Like, I think it's a good investment. So that's what I was saying. It's a good
I get what you're saying.
the status that I have posted, like, it's a good idea. Like, yes, put the hood on. Tell them just you can invest a couple $100 and it will grow. And if you pay close attention, it will grow and make you money quickly. It's a good come up if you have the time. I'm all for that. I am all for that. What I'm saying is like, the internet has made it so easy to act like you're making all this money and blah, blah, blah. I got this, I got that. Yeah. You have this and you have that because you have extra money to invest in the stock market because your mama pays the rent and you live there. Okay. If you had
can talk about somebody specific. That sounded real specific.
Super specific. But that's okay.
You live with your mama.
That's all right.
But if you
stay in your lane. Whoever you are, stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. Don't be in her DM. She talking about you.
Stay in your lane.
But what I'm saying is like if you have real life responsibilities like a rent, a car payment, food, like so just the day-to-day responsibilities, and had to actually pay for those things, you wouldn't be able to invest in the stock market like you do. And you're not really flex when you have actual bills and then you pay those bills and then are still smart enough with your money to invest it. That's the real flex there. When
there you go. All right.
Actual
do I got the applause button? I don't know. Hold on. Let me see. Do I got this? Yeah. I always wanted to use that.
To me, like having extra money left over, I had even posted it just as encouragement to everybody.
That shit was loud as hell.
I had posted a $5,000 yearly savings plan that's just miscellaneous money, and it's like $25 one week, $45 another week, and then it caps out at like I don't know if you guys ever seen it. And I'm like, come on, we can do this. Like to me, that is the flex. Like I know y'all got real responsibilities, but come on, $25. I know y'all spending more than that on Uber Eats. Like we can do this a week. You
got that. Hey, listen, I'm shut up on that, and you right. Like everything you said.
True. So I feel like those are the things that you should put on social media, like telling people how they can make money. But that whole like, this is what I made in a week, and this is what was deposited into my bank account. Like, okay, why are you telling me this? Why?
Yeah,
why?
I'm getting tired of that shit too, and I'm sure a lot of people are. A lot of people think I got money, but I never really show anything. People think I got money just because I carry myself. I'm just an asshole, period. Whether I'm broke or I got money and shit. Y'all don't really want me to be rich. Y'all really don't want me to be rich. Let me tell y'all think I'm bad now? Let this shit make me millions, and then you go see how bad Loso can really be.
Don't talk to me. Yo, I recently became
Go ahead.
This year I became a salaried employee, right? And I was like, don't talk to me. I got a salary app.
Listen, go ahead, sis.
Let me tell you something. Nique, let me tell you something. You get another applause, first of all. Yo, I got that shit loud as hell. My bad, listeners. Just lower your shit. All right, just lower your shit. I don't know what to tell you.
Be confident. If you're making good money, be confident. Want good things for yourself. There's ways to want good things for yourself. Want to live better. Want to eat. I just want to eat better. That's it. just want to be
Ain't nothing
one of
wrong
these
with that,
people who
man.
gets to go and try all these different
Listen, hey,
restaurants.
listen,
That's what I
Pumpkin.
want.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. My problem is there's so many frauds, man. You don't know how many people I know that's on my friend list right now that I know is broke as hell and don't know what the fuck to do with themselves, but look like they got more money than me.
Yes.
And I'm just like, yo, you gotta be okay with yourself. It's alright being broke for right now, as long as you get yourself up. Not everybody go be rich, man, but everybody can have a job.
I feel
Everybody
like it
can
makes
be
it harder
alright.
for people who are genuinely excited about things they've got going on in life to
Yeah.
even put them out there. Like, for instance, I booked myself a solo trip to Hawaii this year. I just did
Okay.
it.
All
I
right.
booked a solo trip to Hawaii. But it's hard for me to even say like, oh, I did this thing, because
Right.
people think you're trying to. I'm not trying to flex. I'm saying,
Right. To
yo,
genuinely
I
celebrate
haven't
now.
like I want to take it's a breather trip. I'm gonna go
Man,
stay at my
so what?
homegirl's house.
Flex.
Like
Man,
this is,
everybody flexes about
but
the
it's not
dumbest
trying.
shit.
It's a
I'd
flex.
rather
I'm
you
not trying to
flex.
flex.
I'd rather you flex saying you going to Hawaii than a motherfucking bitch flex that her baby dad took a Longhorn and shit. Big fucking deal. You really proud of that and shit? Like she acted like that nigga took him to a 5-star restaurant, Michelin restaurant in New York or
And I
something.
get that, like you say that, right? So like a lot of my boys, right? When I post like the restaurants that I eat at and stuff, they be like, "Oh, you my rich friend," and I'm like, "What? How? Because I'm at a decent restaurant. This is not Chili's. Like, you don't need to be rich to eat like this.
Yeah.
Y'all spend money on weed and all these other different things. You can afford this dinner that I am having. You can have
Nah,
oysters
nah,
and
nah, nah,
lobster
nah.
tail too.
Not,
You
not, not,
can."
none of it sacrifices my weed. I don't need lobster
No, what I'm
that
saying.
bad. I don't even like lobster. I'm alright.
But you know what I'm saying? You don't need,
Yeah, I'm
it's
just
like
fucking
you gotta
around. I
be
get what you're saying though.
rich
Yeah.
to eat this well and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, y'all need to get up out the hood. Go eat at nice places. Go see nice things. You do not need to be rich
No, you
or,
don't. People
you
really,
don't
Right.
need to.
yo, word up, yo. So many
Yo,
people. When I told them
so
I left the
many.
country, they was like, all right,
Oh
all right,
wow.
you rich.
You got
I was
money.
like,
No.
nah,
Right.
yo, it really don't cost that much. Motherfuckers really think. You know what it is? It's just a fucking process, depending on what country you go to like go. If you're just going somewhere like Jamaica or DR, the process is not bad. But if you going somewhere like Sierra Leone, Africa, that's just a motherfucking mission. Just to go over there.
Yeah.
Or you go to Colombia.
But people
It's
don't even have ambitions
yeah.
like that, Loso. Like there are people who's been in the same block in the same hood for
See, this is why I like
so
the
many
niggas I
years.
grew up with and shit. Cause me, Star, and my man Pop, man, we was just like, we wanted to fuck bitches around. Remember that song from Lil Wayne? All I wanna do is fuck girls around the world. That shit. I know I just sang that shit mad wrong. Shut the fuck up.
It's like what song?
But you know what I'm talking about. But me and my mans, we really was dreaming that and shit. Like, damn, man, I want to go to other countries and see how females are in
I
other
feel like a
countries and
lot of
shit.
people dream that, but then
They
they
don't
just get
do
so
it.
caught up in life. No,
Or
I think they just get so caught up in life that they think it's an unattainable goal. And I was one of those people. Like even Hawaii is so huge for me. I'm not really an island person. I know I'm not gonna get in the ocean. I'm just not that kind of a person.
What kind of
But
Puerto Rican are you? What kind of shit is that?
but I'm just not an islander type person.
Mm.
But
You're
you
Connecticut.
I'm a Connecticut person.
Mm.
But at the same time, I did have that mentality like, oh, this is too expensive and like I can't really save to go to places like these and blah blah blah. But it's a very attainable goal. It really is. If you really want to do something like that, you don't need to have thousands to go. Like, I mean, the ticket to Hawaii normally costs between $800 and $900. But one of my best friends lives in Hawaii and like she just keeps reminding me like check tickets, check tickets, check tickets. And I checked it on a day that I was having a bad day, right? And look at God, the ticket was $350. I snatched that shit so quick. $350 is nothing. It's nothing. And then I'm gonna go out there and I'm just gonna have a good time. You don't need to stay in an expensive
Um,
hotel. The island is beautiful.
I'm kind of high, and so I'm going to interrupt you for a second before I lose this thought because I want to ask you and Nique a question real quick. And what's up with so many black people going to Puerto Rico right now and shit? Like, the reason why I asked that, I'm just noticing that on Black Twitter, like everybody's going to Puerto Rico. Why the fuck are you going somewhere where you go see people that you already see in the hood and shit? I just want to know. I know the tickets are cheap, but I'm just telling black people, Like that's not a good vacation idea. Or if
Listen,
you never been to Puerto
I don't
Rico,
like.
it's
Nique, have
really
you
the
ever been
same
to Puerto
shit.
Rico?
I have not
Yeah,
been to Puerto Rico, but I'm from Jamaica, so I was just like, that's
Oh,
another Jamaica.
okay.
I don't go to
So,
no
yeah.
islands, to be quite honest. Like once you've lived and grew up in Jamaica, it's just like all the islands in that area just look the same to you. Like Hawaii
Yeah, I
seems
agree. I can see
interesting
how
to
that
me.
could be.
No,
Hawaii
see, I want to
seems
go to places
interesting
where
to
people
me.
don't look like me, or
Right.
or I'm not gonna see people I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, me and
And
Loso
shit.
been to places where
Yeah.
people don't even speak
I mean,
the
one of
same
my
language.
goals is not an island. One of my goals is not. I want to go to Egypt.
Listen, I'm
I don't want
Punkin.
to
I'm
go
just
like I
fucking.
don't.
Listen, Punkin. I'm fucking with you. I don't want you to think
No,
like
so
you're attacking me.
no.
Nah.
So I don't. I've been to Puerto Rico. I don't like it. My mom keeps inviting me to go back, and I'm just like, for what?
Yeah, yo, I'm about to piss off. Yo, listen, I'm about to piss off a lot of
You
Puerto
about to
Ricans
get in
right
trouble
now.
with your own
Listen,
mama.
listen, I'm gonna save you by directing this anger towards me and shit. I don't really like going to Puerto Rico either. There's a reason why we over here now and shit. It wasn't alright over there. Like people Ricans get so offended when you get mad. You don't want to go over there. And shit. Why you here, motherfucker? You here because that shit wasn't alright over there. I like to visit. I like to visit my family and shit, but I want it.
Islander person, like
Yeah.
I'm not, and I think Puerto Rico has also become very touristy and stuff. Not that it's not a
Yeah.
beautiful island, but
It's like the
you
new
know, it just
Florida. That's
Yeah.
what it
yes,
is for black
it
folks.
has
Mm-hmm.
yes, it has become. And if you stay at a resort or something, then yes, I can see you're still on a beautiful beach, you're still at a beautiful resort, then yes. But like, just for my particular taste, I am not an ocean person or anything like that. So like, I want to go and like sightsee, and I want to like, I want to I want to see like the architecture and things like that. I'm not drawn to Puerto Rico. I'm not. I also don't eat beans, so I'm not a regular Puerto Rican
But I feel
anyway.
like-
Oh.
Violation.
Dumb.
Violation.
G, hang up the phone, G.
Yo, the Jamaican in me just died a little bit. I just died a little bit inside.
All the abuelitas around the
Oh my
world
God.
are not happy with you.
When my abuela hears about this, she's gonna be
Yeah,
like,
she
"You're not
knows
supposed to tell
what she
anybody that."
You're not supposed to tell. Don't shame the family. You just shamed your whole
No,
family.
and it's crazy
I
how our
know.
culture is so revolved around food.
Right.
You gotta speak Spanish, but if you don't like Benin, you ain't Puerto Rican no more. It's just how it is.
Your card is
So I
revoked.
happened-
I'm
Yeah,
Jamaican.
yeah.
I'm revoking the card.
I happened to yesterday, but what I'm saying is, so I'll use my grandfather as a prime example. My grandparents, my grandmother. You could maybe take her to like Olive Garden, but that's it. Like she don't want to have nothing that doesn't have to do with like Spanish food. So my grandfather, however, he done had sushi. He done been to all different types of restaurants with me and enjoys all different types of cuisines and cultures and things like that.
That's what's up.
But Puerto Rican people very often, especially islanders, only eat that food and are so stuck within their own cultures that they don't enjoy other cultures. They don't even want to experience it.
Wow, our
They don't
food is
wanna
better
do-
than most cultures though. It's
But
like-
I disagree with that. I like Spanish food, but like my favorite cuisine is Japanese cuisine. Like I don't.
Oh, you
My
lost
favorite is
Lozo
not
there,
Spanish.
Lozo. I've been to Japan. It's even better there.
Yeah.
Lozo don't like nothing to do with any kind of fish, nothing.
I don't believe in eating things that
Oh
are
my
underwater.
God.
He don't want no bottom feeders, nothing.
Seafood is nothing but cockroaches that live underwater. Y'all know that, right?
Oh
they
my
they
God.
built just like them.
Even fish.
Yeah, fish, all that. I don't eat
He
none of
don't,
that
he
shit.
don't eat none of that.
I don't eat none of that. I don't eat none that smells like stink pussy. I just don't believe in that. I just don't. I don't know how it's better to say it than that. Like if it smells like what reminds me what stink pussy smells like, I'm not gonna eat it. And
Oh my
shit.
God.
And if it comes in the water, if it doesn't breathe air, I don't want to eat it. I want a mammal.
I mean, it's an acquired taste. But what I'm saying, even like the style of cooking, even like there's a lot of like pork dishes and stuff
Yeah.
that Japanese and Thai and Vietnamese and
Nique
things
like all
that.
that shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's shaking her
I
head.
do too. Take me
nah.
right to the Thai spot. I'm gonna be happy.
Yeah, I'm
But-
gonna have to travel with Pumpkin.
Let me tell you something. Hey, listen.
I'm like, oh, you like to eat?
I don't want
I know.
I don't want to offend no Asian people. So just know that I fuck with Asian people. I just say this. There's a reason why I order them small for a reason, because they don't eat shit. I can't, like, I'm a big dude. There's nothing in Asian cuisine's diet other than Chinese food that's gonna fill me up and shit. What the fuck is it?
Have you even ever tried to like actually go to these places? Like I said, like let go of the stigma that they only eat like, oh my God, they just have so many different things, and like their bowls of soup are huge and they're hearty meals and they have veggies and carne and all these other
He don't
different
like no
things.
vegetables either.
Never mind.
He don't eat
Never
no
mind.
fish. He don't eat no veggies. Like all
Never
of that
mind.
stuff is not
Episode
stuff he
over.
eats.
Episode over. The next episode we have to
listen.
do Loso tries.
Yeah.
Loso tries
I ain't
Vietnamese.
eating. I ain't eating nothing I can't spell.
Oh my
If I can't
God.
spell it, I don't want to eat it.
He's like miso.
But
Yeah.
how can you
I
like
can't
say you
spell
want
it.
to travel to these different places and they
And
like
I
that
eat
the
American.
cuisine-
Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I'm an American ass motherfucker when I go to different countries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Anybody that has traveled with me outside the country, know. Loso is American as a motherfucker. I'm loud as shit. I expect everybody to speak English. And I expect the McDonald's to be somewhere 5 minutes away from me and shit. I don't give a fuck what country I was in. And shit, I was in Colombia acting a fool. Like, what the fuck is a McDonald's, my nigga? Niggas is
You
they
went
looking
to
at me.
McDonald's in Colombia?
Hell yeah, I was hungry as hell.
Oh my God.
I wasn't worrying about food. I was there for the bitches. Y'all don't understand. Women
Makes
women
sense.
go.
It makes sense
Listen,
now.
women go to different countries for the culture, for the food, for the sightseeing. I go because I want to know how Nigerian pussy is, how Chinese
my
pussy
God.
is, how Brazilian pussy is. That's why I went to
And then
different
we wonder why
countries.
the episode was entitled
Loso
Baby
don't.
Daddy.
Yeah.
Wait, listen, I ain't never said I was.
Because
I was
there's niggas like
great.
Loso
Yeah.
traveling the country.
Right.
Yeah.
Over here getting
Food.
global pussy.
Man, let me tell you something. Them bitches is lucky I strapped up and shit. I would have had the only DNA stranding from motherfucking Australia to fucking Russia.
The Genghis Khan.
Yeah, Genghis Khan.
DNA.
Yeah, that would have been me right there. That would have been me. Everybody, like, yo, why the fuck does everybody got a little bit of Puerto Rican in
100
them?
years from now,
The
you
fuck?
are a descendant of Loso.
Hell yeah. You gonna have all different type of motherfuckers look like me too and shit. Ain't that a bitch?
Only eating French fries and burgers.
Yeah, that's big as hell, big head, walk funny as hell, cocky and shit. Like, yo, what the fuck? All these niggas.
Who's this giant ass Japanese dude?
Yeah, this nigga big as hell. Hey, yo, why is this about me now? Shit crazy. Nah, but yo, this shit, he's right. Everybody should travel. Get out the hood. Even if you don't go outside the country, you don't got to go to the country, but damn it, go somewhere. Go somewhere. Because it's,
I agree.
yo,
There's a lot of things in Connecticut even to do. That just,
life is too short, man. I've almost died twice. Like, real talk, I almost died twice. And that's why I act the way I act. Because, yo, you don't want to regret anything when it's time for you to die. And you're going to regret things no matter what. But you at least want to say, damn, I got out of, Springfield or Houston or New York or Newark or where the fuck you from, or Hartford, wherever you from. You feel me? You from the hood, you gotta leave. Even people not in the hood, yo, white people in the sticks, yo, leave, man. That's why y'all racist now, cause you don't interact with nobody else.
Experience
and
other
shit.
people.
Like,
I was
you
saying that
got
on my
to.
Facebook. I was saying on my Facebook the other day that there was this fine ass white dude. But
Cricket.
Go ahead, nah. Listen, well, everybody got quiet. Go ahead.
I don't know why. I was here for the
Hold
story.
on. Let's talk. Go.
Listen, but there was a catch. I scrolled through his pictures, right? And he was fine in all of them.
Yeah.
But all the pictures were with white people. Even his old pictures. Zero friends of color. And I mean no Asian, no
Well, damn, you would have been the
Puerto Rican,
first
no
one.
black.
You didn't even get the motherfucker a shot.
No. So any white person, and I don't care how like how crazy this sounds. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Any white person who is in their late 20s, early 30s, does not matter. If you don't have one friend of color, you are racist. You are racist. I'm not talking about your coworker. I'm talking about if all of your pictures with your actual friends and your friends are only white, it's because you have willingly chosen to not mix yourself in with people of a different race. Like, and I thought it was just so crazy. I'm like, yo, he had pictures like when he was like young and all his college and no black people.
Well, let me ask
no
you a
Puerto Rican
question.
people.
Because we don't got a white person on here, so I feel like I got to defend white people. And shit. Unfortunately, I really don't want to do it, but at the same time, I got to because I got a lot of cool white people that listen to this, and I ain't about to lose them because y'all acting a fool up in here. So, listen.
This is Pumpkin story.
Listen, Nique. Listen, all right? I go say to white people real quick. Let me tell you something. Where's that person from? Is he? You don't gotta actually say the town. Okay, I'm gonna explain what I'm saying. If he's from somewhere where ain't no black people, or maybe just 2 black people in that town and 1 Spanish person, then how do you expect him to have black or Spanish friends?
Someone did comment.
No, but hold up.
That, though.
Fuck, I don't care what he said. This is the Loso podcast. And Loso's gonna say why he thinks. Now, just fuck with you. I'm gonna let you get to that, but I just want this point to make across. If all he sees is motherfuckers where he works at, maybe he's just not friendly. That doesn't automatically make him a racist. For me, what makes a white person a racist is when you choose to be away from people that look like us because of what you think you know about us. That is what I define, what I look for is if I don't see no person of color in the pictures. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, if odds are, if you've gone through middle school, high school, and then college, and then work environment, you've come across several people of color. Maybe not a whole lot, depending on the town, because like I said, I mean, Shelton, where I grew up at in Connecticut, is way more diverse than it was when I went to school there. But it was literally predominantly white. There was like 10 Black and Puerto Rican people combined in school. But, you do come across, and, are you even trying to talk to these people? Are you even interacting with them in class, at work, at lunchtime, or anything? There are ways for you to interact, but instead you stay with your own people. You don't go out of your way to make conversation. And if you're partying and shit and you got pictures drinking and shit, then you're social enough to fucking talk to a Black person or a Puerto Rican person or an Asian fucking person.
Take a photo with him. Maybe he's not that cool in person.
No.
Maybe they was just yo, I know this nigga, but I don't want to take no photos with him.
Nah, listen, I get what Punk is saying.
To have zero photos with a person of color, come on.
But some
and your
people,
pictures date to way back. When
I say I've been to a lot of different states, and I've been in a lot of different towns, and one town I used to go into that I had no fucking business going over there, and I was there because of illegal reasons, was, middle of nowhere, sorry to use this language, guys, but you know what I'm talking about. Cracker town ass. I shouldn't be nowhere there. Confederate flags everywhere. KKK everywhere. I shouldn't be there. And, I'm waiting for something. And, I wound up talking to somebody that was active, Ku Klux Klan member, right? And I'm looking at him. I'm like, yo, why you hate me so much? I just drove through your town. I ain't see a single Black or Mexican, because where I was at, ain't no such thing as Puerto Rican. You automatically a Mexican if you speak Spanish. So he thought I was Mexican, and he was like, oh, I'm tired of you guys, coming through the border and this and that, all this crazy shit, right? And I'm just like, yo, bro, you're not even from here. Y'all from a whole other side of the world and shit. And, a lot of these places, the place that he was at, where the state he was in, was actually a Spanish named state. And so I was like, you don't even know what state you actually in. But fuck all that. Why you hate me? You never even met me. Never been around somebody that looked like me. Why you hate me? I'm taking jobs. What jobs am I taking from you? Motherfucker, where you work at? You work at this gas station right here, nigga. I don't work here. I live in Brooklyn. What job am I taking from you? What
I
women
feel
are
like a lot of
taking
these
from
white
you?
people that are like that,
They just don't
they
interact with people.
they don't interact with people, and then they just ignore the fact that even if I was crossing the border, I'm taking the jobs that your lazy ass doesn't want to do, that literally help society to
You're
function.
absolutely
Like,
right. But the problem
like
is that they
your
listen.
own people don't want to do these
They get
horrible
a
ass
different.
jobs.
You gotta understand something. I don't want to get too political with this, but white people understand what I'm about to say. They get a different type of news we get, especially those type of people, right? So they don't. It's not like I don't want to say, oh, they don't know better or treat them like they're dumb. It's not that. It's just when you're getting told a certain thing over and over and over and over again, it actually takes somebody like me to tell you about yourself. Most of them will actually listen and understand that they're not ready. Maybe he was trying to reach out to you and shit. Maybe he wanted to try. Maybe he was trying to reach out and be.
You ever seen that
Yo,
movie
you
Get
see how
Out?
I'm trying to slide that
Oh,
in
I'm
there?
not
Yo, she even let me finish. She like, nah, I'm
not trying to
good.
be surrounded by
I'm
white people. I'm
good.
sorry. It's
Yeah.
very uncomfortable, especially because I am a woman of actual color. Not even just that I'm a Puerto Rican. I'm Puerto Rican. Excuse me. I'm colored.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be the only colored person in the room. It is uncomfortable because one little ghetto twang that comes out, they're like, "Oh no, this bitch don't belong here." When
And I mean, those
that's
who don't
not
give a
the
fuck.
case.
I can tell you, and you know, we will get in some episodes where I party with white people all the time and shit. White people are fun. Don't get it twisted. White people know how to have
I agree.
fun
Like I said,
with $20.
like I said, I went to Shelton. I went to Shelton High, and like
With 20
a lot
fucking
of my friends
dollars.
are white, and a lot of uh,
By the way, I am taking
how do we say?
applications for a white friend. I really need a white friend and everything. And so if you're listening out there and you want to hang out with Local Show and you're a cool white boy, I definitely need a white friend. I don't have a white friend anymore, and I would like another one. I think every person of color should have one white friend, just like they should have.
I do.
Just like they should have one person of color and shit. Just because it just
You
balance
need to
shit
have
out.
more than one person of color. You need several. We are great.
Nah.
Several.
Just nah. White people, just get a couple. You know, I don't even want to be around my own that much and shit. Like it's alright. She's
No, but I'm just saying, like,
exaggerating.
you need, in order to really, like, I have a white friend, right? She's older, and you would have never expected for me and her to be friends. But she advocates for Black people's rights and people just of color's rights so much because she looks at herself and she's like, it is my job to make this a better place for people of color. It is my job to recognize my privilege, my job to talk to people of color so that I can better relate to what it is, what their day-to-day life, even going to a restaurant. My experience at a restaurant is much different than a white person's experience at a restaurant.
God bless
You
her.
walk, like she really
Then I wonder why we leave y'all
advocates
for
and
white
she
women. You hear how she sound? She sound like she's trying to save the world. I already want to go help her. I don't even know what she look like.
Don't even get me started. Don't even get me
You about
started.
to get Nique.
Oh,
I'm about to
don't
get
even
Nique
get me
mad.
started.
I'll get Nique mad on purpose
Don't
though.
even get me started.
I'm about to get.
You don't want to go to the
But I feel
restaurant
like
with us
if
because you
you're-
don't want us to
if
be in
you're
the
a
same
white
struggle with
person,
you.
like, if you're a white person, then like I said, there's got to be that one or two straggler in there that's a Black or Puerto Rican or whatever person of color. Like, why haven't you made it a priority to talk to this person, to make this person feel welcome? It's your job to check yourself and be like, you know what? This is a place where white privilege definitely exists. And then I'm talking about like a work environment, school,
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, why haven't I made it an opportunity like, hey, do you need help with anything? That could spark a conversation. And then, next thing you know, you're talking about life. It's impossible to be in your fucking 30s and not have one Black fucking friend.
You know, my whole thing with them and shit is just like I agree with everything you say, and I know Nique for certain agrees with everything you say. But my whole thing is just like, you know why I don't really talk about it as much anymore? Is because I just look like, who are we to tell them to get better and do better? We should be doing better with ourselves because we suck. Black and black crime is at an all-time high. Brown and brown crime is at an all-time high. And, black and brown crime is still a thing, even though we doing the same struggles. And it's just like, yeah, there are a lot of racist white people and there's people putting a foot down our neck. But before we can talk about all that, in my eyes, in my personal thing, we need to stop killing each other and shit, because this shit is getting out of hand where a motherfucker can't even have a podcast, or you can't do a Twitch, or Nique can't do, her little thing without somebody that looks like us and going through the same shit hating on us.
I agree.
Right.
Cause let me tell you something. The biggest haters I got right now ain't no fucking white person.
It be your own people.
It's
Yeah.
my
It really
own
does. It's
people.
your own people.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely
The people
right.
that shot at me were people that looked like me.
Mhm.
The people that stabbed me in my sleep were my own fucking people and shit. Yes,
So
and
I
white
have said
people.
that on my social media. You haven't been on my social media long, but I definitely put
yeah.
things like this on my social media, and people get so angry. And I'm just like, you get treated like animals when you go places because 9 times out of 10, you fucking act like animals. You go to these high-end restaurants, you don't tip, you demand things, you act nasty, you're loud and obnoxious and all these other different things. And then that's when a person of color who is well behaved and not just there to flex and actually wants to eat at that restaurant and have the experience, they remember this black table that acted a fucking fool and didn't tip.
I agree
And
and I disagree. Only for the simple fact because
you shouldn't
you're
be
right.
treating anybody any type of way, no matter
Exactly.
at
Because let me
your
tell you something.
establishment.
I don't go and look at every white person and automatically think they are racist. So I don't need a motherfucking white person to think every Spanish person or every black person is going to be a loud motherfucker and shit. Yes, don't worry. I will control my own people and shit. But I don't need you to just automatically assume as I walk in that I'm going to take something. Yo, you don't know how
I
many
agree.
times in
I agree.
CVS and shit, I had little issues. Like, I'm gonna steal something just cause some motherfucker that looked like me did it beforehand and shit. Meanwhile, you missing this whole white junkie that's stealing all this shit. Cause you worrying
I
about
worked
me
at a
and I
Burlington
got
with
money.
popcorn the
Right.
other day,
There's
so I
just-
wouldn't look suspicious.
Yeah. So
There's too much
Go ahead,
much
Nique.
like expectations that we have to act right? Like, you just be yourself. You should be able to be yourself wherever you're at, right? There's still rules of decorum of how you should behave in general that apply to all people, but that gets so attached to like us, right? And that we have to behave a certain way, as if like other people of other races don't behave a certain way as well, right? And just don't get that flag. There isn't that expectation when they walk
because
into
when
a restaurant.
and not to assault white women, but when a Becky get mad, everybody listen. You feel me? Like, everybody stop doing what they doing and, find out what's wrong with her and shit and make sure, they take care of the situation. But a black and Spanish chick do it, now she crazy.
Right.
And now she acting like a savage. And I'm just saying, that's not cool. If it's,
I agree. Even in the workplace, like
Yeah.
you voicing your opinion. Like, for example, I was having issues with my son's teacher, right? She was she's just a lot, right? And she's a quote unquote pretty white woman, right? So everyone that I spoke to was saying, well, we know Mrs. So-and-so is a tough pill to swallow and blah, blah, blah. No, bitch, she's not, okay? Because if she was black, it would be considered ghetto and rude, her behavior. She'd be obnoxious. She wouldn't be a tough pill to swallow. If she was a black woman, she would just be flat out rude and would get a stern talking to. So I need you to check her because her behavior is inappropriate. I don't want you to tell me she's a tough pill to swallow, but she's good at this and blah, blah, blah. No, her behavior is just flat out inappropriate. It's
Right.
condescending and inappropriate, and she's only getting a pass and being called a tough pill to swallow because she is a pretty white woman.
Yeah, like I said, and I don't, we could spend a whole other hour on this shit, and we're gonna touch on this another time, because I really want to get a little bit more deeper into this, but for all my hood niggas and G and stuff, they're gonna fall asleep if we keep talking too much about this shit. But I just want to say just one more thing on just this subject, and I don't want anybody to get confused. Racism is a big problem, absolutely. What's going on right now, it's crazy, but all over. But for me and my personal view, before I can go and tell the white man how he need to act, I need to tell my own people that this inner hate and this self-hate shit ain't doing nothing. Especially, for African Americans and Puerto Ricans, especially Puerto Ricans in general, in terms of the Latino community, because we're the smallest, in America. People don't realize that if you're not from the East Coast. And so for, us to be killing each other the way we killing each other, it ain't even enough of us to be doing that. And so when I see that, and African Americans are the same, We all the same thing, whether we like to admit it or not. And it's the same as that issue. It's not enough of us doing, and we're doing it, and we say all this, right? And everybody shakes their head, yep. And what happens? Then tomorrow I'm gonna go shoot the nigga, right? I'm gonna shoot this nigga right across the street from me if he act up. We have to. There's a lot of deep-rooted issues that gotta be solved before we could tell anybody else what to do and shit. And it's just like, like in my community, colorism is a motherfucker.
I was just about to say that.
How many times you say you a dark-skinned Puerto Rican? How many times will somebody say you Dominican or something? You get what I'm saying? Like, so there's a lot of shit.
Even with my own father, like, oh, Moreno's this, Moreno's
yeah,
that. And I'm
so,
like,
which is
you're
crazy.
Black as shit.
Yeah,
you're so black.
Because not only are you black as shit, but you like to say, oh, I'm black, I'm Indian, this and that. But when somebody looks black or Indian, you make them feel like they're not a part of the wave and shit, or a part of the culture. That's my fucking problem right then and there. So before I could tell a white man or a white woman how she need to fucking act, I need to tell my own people that they need to know who the fuck really their own people and shit. And at the end of the day, just because you lighter or dark or whatever, at the end of the day, you still my people. At the end of the day, when they say they go to shoot, I'm gonna line up and I'm gonna shoot all the Puerto Ricans. Or they gonna separate the lighter from the darker ones, or they just gonna shoot all the Puerto Ricans.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Same thing with black people. They don't care.
We touched on today can tie into that. I think
yeah.
The changes with baby daddies, baby mamas, and all that stuff. The only way that real change is gonna come about is if we start recognizing it within ourselves, within our community. We have to set the example for how we want to be treated. We have to set the trend for like what's going to be happening going forward. And it's not
just an example, right? It's also the narrative, right? Because the media and social media, what we were talking about, like people flexing on social media, like you have to change the narrative. Like everyone has to change that narrative. What you're posting on social media. And I think the best thing is when it starts with us, though. It has to start with you. It has to start with you. Like
I'm all for taking down the man, but before we could take down the man, how about we get along with each other first? Mm-hmm. That's all I'm asking.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm asking.
I totally agree. And I think with all of that, with like every single thing that we touched on today, I think real change could come about if we started doing it at home first.
Word.
If you do it at home and then you have children, and your children go out in the world and they do it out in the world, then that's when you will see like a real change happen with anything, with how our children are being raised, with how we're being treated when we go out in places, how we're taken, how much our voices, mean in political scenarios and things like that. I think all of those things will change if we check ourselves before we walk out the door and come into contact with anybody else. Because if you don't check yourself first, how can you possibly check the next person?
Boom.
Like I don't understand it.
And with that, I think we're gonna end it like that. So well, Pumpkin, I do hope we have you, on again. I really think, you was really dope as fuck. You kept it real. And, and that was the most, I think, we all over here appreciated, like how you put yourself out there. Mm-hmm. And, because that's what this show really about. As long as you real with yourself, ain't nobody gonna judge you over here. And shit, 'cause we all been through it. That's the thing about all of us that's on this show.
You remember in 8 Mile when Eminem started like dissing himself and like saying everything else, and then they didn't have shit else to say?
Yo, why did Pumpkin just talk about the same show that I was talking about earlier today?
Yo? I don't know, but fuck both y'all and Eminem. I don't know how he got brought up in this whole...
Another soft spot there. You gotta back up.
Yeah, I ain't trying to...
Pumpkin. He don't like Eminem. He don't like veggies. He don't like fish. He don't like Eminem.
Yeah,
I don't really know. I don't even know if I could come back there. We got no chemistry.
All right, well, listen.
My goal is like, I say everything so that no one else, like, all right, I already said it. What else are you gonna say now? Like, I already, what else can you say? That's an old narrative.
And that's how exactly. And that's what I do. I put myself out there so nobody could use that shit against me. Ain't nothing you can say about me that I already ain't said about myself. Mm-hmm. And shit. And if you real with yourself, then you ain't got really nothing to worry about, because nobody could ever make you anything that you not. So with that being said, listen, listeners, if you want to follow Pumpkin, You can follow her on IG. Her IG is beatrix.kiddo.
Oh, don't mess it up. Beatrix Kiddo.
Beatrix Kiddo. But isn't there a dot in it, right?
Beatrix.kiddo, yes.
All right, so
Beatrix.kiddo.
all right, well, I'm not doing that bad. Well, let me spell it out for y'all. So BEATRIX.kiddo. Y'all know how to spell kiddo. And then your Snap is Maria.Elena, right?
Yep.
Elena with 4 A's. And you know, her gaming page is Pumpkin0523. Definitely check that out. If y'all play Warzone and shit, check her out. She's really dope. She knows what she's doing. She's better than me, that's for sure. I don't know if you're better than G. We might have to put y'all, you know, on a man versus girl face off and shit.
Separate teams, though.
Yeah.
Separate teams.
Yeah, separate team. All right, bet. But listen, I might even get on this and help G, man, because I think G might need a little help and shit. So you can get your little squad and shit, or whoever you got. We get our crew, and then we meet, and we start the revolution.
I'm not trying to embarrass y'all on your own show, but I mean, if that's what you want to do.
All right, so y'all stay tuned. We're going to see about this shit. Nah,
Right.
because one thing I ain't never do, I ain't never ran away. So let's get it going. I'm gonna lose though. I know I'm gonna lose. But anyway, yo, y'all make sure y'all check her out. Yo, thanks again, Pumpkin. You know, we really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, guys.
No problem.
You guys were great.
Thank you. Yo, you're welcome anytime. You heard?
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. This was great. This was fun.
All right. You have a nice day.
Bye, y'all.
You guys too. Bye.
Damn, I ain't mean to cut her off that quick. But yeah, that shit was dope as hell. I really like what she had to say. I don't know what y'all thought.
It was dope.
I really vibe with her. She had like some real honesty and truth, which I appreciate. You know, it's one thing to come up here and bash dudes without taking any responsibility for anything that you may have played a part in, but I think that raw honesty is definitely what we like on the show. When people are them authentic selves, and she spoke some real truth about our people, about a lot of things that I think, you know, we've touched on in a few of the episodes before. So I'm really feeling her, and I hope people go out there and support our girl Pumpkin in the gaming community. You know, she seemed like she a real militant type on the gaming in the gaming world.
I can't play with her. She ain't gonna like playing.
She look like she got a caliber. You have to be of a certain caliber to be on her team.
Yeah, I like to smoke and talk shit. And,
right.
I gotta be the squad leader, mandatory.
She's in there.
She ain't gonna let me
focus. She sound like she could, you know, she could be led, but to be quite honest, it sounds like she want to be the leader though.
Yeah.
But she's pretty dope. She's pretty dope. I hope she can slide through again.
Yeah. We definitely go. You know, I'm gonna do what I can get her back on the show again because I really like to, you know, her style, and you know, I think she really fits. And I really want to make it, you know, a little gaming segment because, you know, I really feel like we need more, you know, voices like us. Mm-hmm. And I'm just talking about people of color, but just people like us. Mm-hmm. Period. So, you know, we're going to end this episode now. We still got a lot of other stuff to touch on. You know, Nique in the next episode is going to give us a tea about what's going on. But we're going to end it here because, you know, we let the blunt fly and then we just let everybody talk. That's how we do on this show. You know, I'm glad y'all been vibing with us. You probably smoked already 3 blunts. Or you cleaned up your house or did the laundry. Whatever you did it with us. And we appreciate it. So we're going to let Nique take us out. And as always, stay sucker free.
Once again, thanks for listening and vibing with Bluntz, Koffee, and Tea, a Loso podcast. Go ahead and make sure to subscribe and visit www.bluntzcoffeetea.com with no and to download all the episodes and to follow Loso and the crew on social media. You can catch us every Friday morning, and for our brothers and sisters behind bars, it'll take a little longer, but we'll be here on JPay every other Friday. And for our loyal listeners with a lot of opinions and suggestions for the show, make sure you email us at suggestions@bluntzcoffeetea.com. Bye, y'all.